Creativity is always fun, but crafting up worlds and adventures, that takes things to a whole new level. Today, we are going to ask the question, is this new 2024 Dungeon Masters Guide worth it? GameMasters here, and I'll give you my answer right up front. Yes, it is worth it, but also maybe. And I'll explain the maybe in a bit. First, I want to give you some context to my yes answer. The title of this book, which is what it's been with each edition, is simply Dungeon Master's Guide. A good rule in marketing is to have a name that conveys what the thing is. In my YouTube channel's name, for example, GameMasters, that should convey that it's a place where many games are checked out and where we can learn to master those games. But it also should convey that it's a place where those who run the game, the game master, can go to learn more on that craft. Likewise, one would expect that the Dungeon Master's Guide is to be exactly what it states, a guidebook for Dungeon Masters. Now, I'm not going to knock previous editions. I'd never do that. I mean, I cut my teeth on the DMG from decades past, and for me, this edition is fantastic for what it does, and I've certainly learned quite a bit from each subsequent edition Dungeon Master's Guide. But this one, this new 2024 version of 5th edition, one that I'm simply just going to call 5.5, leans heavily into the term guide. What I like about this one, and most of why I'm giving it a resounding yes, it's worth it, is because it does a fantastic job of detailing scenarios and offering up advice to a new DM. From how to schedule games to dealing with group sizes, even how to use multiple DMs to run a campaign. Experienced DMs are already going to have a lot of those skills, but what I'd encourage everyone to consider is that this specific book, this one, is really made for that new DM. I can only imagine the thrill and excitement of having never been a DM before and getting this book. There really is good sound advice inside. As mentioned, it's being approached as a guidebook and not just a supplement of rules. It flows well from one section to the next and details out for that new DM several step-by-step guides on how to create adventures, campaigns, even creating up custom-made magic items and custom-made creatures. It doesn't stop there either. Want to craft up a custom background for your players? Or how about a custom spell, a custom curse, or some kind of awful disease? Yeah, that's all in here. Now, I just mentioned the thrill and excitement of what it must be like to have never DM'd before, and opening this book up for the first time, kind of like how fun would it be to go back and rewatch your favorite movie again for the first time? Sadly, as an experienced DM, I don't think that those of us in the circle of being an experienced DM are going to get much out of this book. I'm teetering on that maybe answer here, but consider this, and I can only explain this with an example. Let's take a look here in Chapter 3, the DM's Toolbox. One little snippet from this particular chapter, can't talk, one little snippet from this chapter reads, "Do I need a settlement map?" A settlement doesn't always require a map. Simply describing the settlement to your players is usually sufficient. But if it's important for the players to know where certain buildings or other locations are in the settlement, having a map is helpful. Okay, so again, experienced DMs likely have encountered this concept multiple times, to a point where we don't need to exactly spell out where everything is. Yes, sometimes a map is needed, other times it's simply not. More often than not, I'm just going to pull out a scrap of sheet paper and scribble a quick area. I might feature out the blacksmith shop, the magic shop, the local inn, and other quasi-semi-important locations, but overall, as the characters travel, I don't have a map for every little town that they're going to run across. And I really don't think that that's necessary. What I mean by this is the bits of advice that this Dungeon Masters, the 2024 Dungeon Masters Guide provides, is stuff that we already kind of mostly know and that we're already doing. Why I categorize it into the maybe stack, though, well, that's got a few reasons. One, some may just want to have it in their collection because they got to have every D&D book that's out there. Two, your players want to play the latest version of the game, and if they all show up with the 5.5 Player's Handbook, you're going to need this 5.5 DM's Guide, as there are a lot of updates to magic items from the previous version of 5th edition, as well as other updated key elements. Simply put, you'll want to ensure that things kind of mesh well. 3. Even for the experienced DM, provided that you are open to the possibility of changing your own approach to your games, there is that saying, it's never too late to teach an old dog some new tricks. Now, granted, a lot of the tricks presented here are things that we've already been doing, but what this does offer up is alternate ways of doing those tricks. As one of the standout elements of this DMG is its focus on versatility and adaptability for various playstyles. The book doesn't just cater to one type of game, but rather it offers tools and guidance that can be applied across different kinds of campaigns, from heavily narrative-driven ones to tactical combat-focused adventures. It recognizes that DMs are not all cut from the same cloth, and that's something that I can really appreciate. The guide encourages experimentation with pacing, environmental storytelling, and really player agency, elements that can drastically alter the dynamics of your game. It's a resource that allows even seasoned DMs to see their game through a fresh lens, which is why I consider it that it could be worth picking up, even for those who think that they've got it all figured out. And that's it, guys. I really feel that for a new player, someone who wants to get into D&D, to run the game, and to be the dungeon master, this new version is very much worth it. They stuck with the cover price from what it was 10 years ago, $49.99. And while I fully understand that different countries will be paying a little more based on the US dollar conversion, it's still an affordable price for an unlimited amount of entertainment. We still have the 5.5 Monster Manual to look forward to, and once we get that, well, we will have checked out all of the new core books for this new 2024, what I call 5.5 version. And I am super excited to see what all changes have been made to the various monsters in that book. So be sure to like, subscribe so that you don't miss those topics and videos when they do drop. I also want to thank everyone for watching today's video, and I especially, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all of my YouTube and Patreon supporters. Their interactions here on the channel, through the comments, over on my Patreon, and even in my Discord have all boosted the capabilities of what I have been able to do for this channel, and I cannot thank them enough. If you'd like to check out what all we have going on, I'll leave links down below me here in my little box, but also down in the description. What are some good things that you've heard about regarding this new Dungeon Master's Guide? What are some bad things that you've heard about it? Is this a book that you're going to check out? If you are watching this before the holidays, tell me, have you already spied it all wrapped up, just teasing you to be open? Or have you already gotten it, and are you simply on the fence about even getting it? Let me know all about it down in the comments, and until next our paths cross, may your games be full of unforgettable adventures.